Uh, Hello dear students, in the last class we were discussed here one of the most important concepts, those are like that limitations of Bohr's atomic model and dual nature of matter and light and Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So today in this session let's start with that one of the most important concept, that is significance of here Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So let's discuss what are the significance of an Heisenberg uncertainty principle here, that is significance of Heisenberg uncertainty principle. See guys, as we know that here, that is Heisenberg uncertainty principle says that it is impossible to determine both position and momentum of an electron accurately and simultaneously. See, by studying this particular statement, means by studying that particular principle, so we are going to know here, so that particular Heisenberg uncertainty principle wants to says that, see, in terms of their significance, that is, that can rules out here that existence of an orbit, isn't it? So as we know that already orbit is nothing but here, it's a circular path where there is an electron is going to be revolve around that nucleus. But after studying that particular Heisenberg uncertainty principle, we came to know that there is nothing like that orbit around that particular nucleus. Okay, instead of that, there must be some probability of electron has to be there that can be leads by here quantum mechanics, isn't it? So this is the one of the major significance of here Heisenberg uncertainty principle, that can rules out here the existence of an orbit, which means that so in that particular around that nucleus there is no more orbit has to be there. Okay, instead of that there must be some probability of an electrons cloud has to be there, guys. So that can be understood by here studying quantum mechanics. So this is that one of the major importance of here. So Heisenberg's uncertainty principle significance. So let's take down. So it can rules out existence of an orbit, but rather it would explain here that is probability of an electron, guys. So that can be studied by with the help of quantum mechanics. So next concept will be that thing only. Okay, and it leads to that, it leads to probability, okay, can be given by or can be explained by quantum mechanics. So let's discuss this particular concept. So next to that, okay, so I have to know that here there is a major significance of an Heisenberg, so that can help us that existence of an orbit, that can rules out here, so existence of an here orbit, guys. That is one of the major significance of an here Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Okay, so if you can consider a particular atom, so if you consider this will be an orbit, means so according to this particular statement, means this particular principle, there is no more existence of an orbit here around that nucleus. So rather there must be some probability of electron has to be there, that can be given by here quantum mechanics. So this is the major important significance of an here Heisenberg uncertainty principle. And guys, let me know one particular thing here. See, since in the last class we was discussed one particular concept, that is a dual nature of matter and light, isn't it? So the thing is that electron is being an particle, along with that it has wave properties, isn't it? But how do we get to know that? Means by studying that particular equation, that is lambda which equals to h divided by m into v, or h divided by p. So but the thing is that we have to know here a experimental factor. We should have to know that experimental factor here, means we should at least have some sort of evidence. How does that particular electron is going to be behaves as there over as a wave? Okay, as an electron being a particle, as we know that, as we agree that particular point. Okay, but the thing is that we have to know that evidence for that electrons wave behavior. Okay, so that's why one particular scientist he could given that particular evidence for that electrons wave behavior. He compare here two particular factor. One will be electron itself and X-ray. So as we know that X-ray is nothing but here that is a pure wave. Pure wave, that is nothing but here X-ray. How that X-ray can undergo diffraction phenomenon, just like that here electron beam can also undergo diffraction phenomenon. So thereby we came to know that electrons that is also having an here a wave property. So this is how we came to know that electrons having an here wave properties, guys. So this is the scenario. So this is also one of the major important concept. And actually we have to know that here the de Broglie wave equation or the Heisenberg uncertainty principle only can be applied for an here ultra microscopic particle, not being macroscopic particle. Have to keep it in your mind. So these are the major important. Okay, so this only particular concepts, that is the dual nature of matter and light, and as well as that Heisenberg uncertainty principle can be given only for an here that is ultra microscopic particle. So rather it would not explain that macroscopic particle, guys. So have to be know this particular concept. So this is that a small significance of an here Heisenberg uncertainty principle, but which is most important, guys. Okay, so let's go with that one of the most interesting concept, that is quantum mechanics and quantum mechanical model, one of the major concepts, guys. So we have to know here. Okay, so let's discuss that particular concept right now. Quantum mechanics, take down, guys, that is an significance here. Quantum mechanics and quantum mechanical model. See, guys, before get into that concept of quantum mechanics, we have to know that history of that particular thing. Means, so how that quantum mechanics has to be introduced, that we should know that before that, means that history of that particular quantum mechanics, how it has to be introduced there over. Why should that particular quantum mechanics have to be enter into this particular model of an atom? How does has to be takes place? So what are the reason in order to study for this particular quantum mechanics? So we'll discuss that one by one here. So before that, we should know some important concept, that is about classical mechanics. See, guys, classical mechanics, that is completely based on that here and Newton's laws of all the motion, and that Newton's laws of all the motion can describes here, that is macro motion of that macroscopic particles. Okay, that classical mechanics that can describes here motions of all macroscopic particle or macroscopic object or microscopic things, whatever it may be. Suppose motions of all macroscopic object, in the sense, suppose if you want to give an example like falling stone example. Suppose some stone is going to be falling, or we are going to throw some some stones wherever, that is falling stones and orbiting planet. So in our solar system, how that planets is going to be revolve around that particular sun. So orbiting planets. So these all are an example for that here motions of all macroscopic objects. So these particular motions of, so suppose in this particular scenario, these particular things would behave as in here, having here particle behavior. So this particular statement can be explained by here classical mechanics. So classical mechanics, that is completely based on that here Newton's laws of motions, guys. Newton's laws of motion. So this Newton's laws of motion that can describing here, so motions of all the macroscopic objects such as falling stones or orbiting planets could have that here particle behavior. It should have here particle behavior. However, this particular classical mechanics when applies to that here, so this is going to be fail, guys. Fails. When it has to be fails means when we are going to apply this classical mechanics to that ultra microscopic particles. When means when we are going to apply this classical mechanics to that here ultra microscopic particle such as electrons, or you can take atom, and molecules are in motions, when this particular classical mechanics fails means when this classical mechanics is going to be applied to that here ultra microscopic particles, okay, such as electrons, atoms, or molecules. When these particular particles are going to be in motion means then only this classical mechanics is going to be failure. So that is this particular particle so behaves as having an particle behavior. So it would not explain this particular term to that particular molecules or this particular particles. Okay, so this is the scenario. We have to know that here classical mechanics so stand with that here motions of all the macroscopic objects having that here particle behavior. So there also here some ultra microscopic particles are in that motion, but he would not explain, means this particular mechanics would not explain those particular particle having here particle behavior, those particular species having an here particle behavior. Okay, but the thing is that ultimately a branch of science that has to be takes into consideration of that here dual nature, and before that we have to know that why is going to be fails to that particular giving that explanation of an ultra microscopic particles behaves like an here having an here particle behavior means this classical mechanics is going to be ignores two particular major concept. One will be here dual nature of matter and light. Okay, second one guys, that is Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Okay, so dual nature of matter and light, and as well as that uncertainty means Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So why does that classical mechanics fails to explain that ultra microscopic particles having that here particle behavior means this particular classical mechanics is going to be ignoring here two major concepts. One will be dual nature of matter and light, and another will be Heisenberg uncertainty principle. That's only it's going to be when applies to classical mechanics to that ultra microscopic particles, it would not explain that particle behavior for these kind of species. Okay, this is the major thing. Why don't going to means why does not having that such capacity means it is going to be ignoring here these two particular major concepts. But ultimately we have a branch of science, that branch of science, that branch of mechanics is going to be take into consideration of these two particular concepts, that is dual nature of matter and light means that is wave particle behavior of that particular matter. Okay, and Heisenberg uncertainty principle, that branch we can call to be as here quantum mechanics. Okay, so that's why quantum mechanics is nothing but here it's a branch of mechanics that takes into consideration of particle wave duality and Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So such kind of mechanics we can call to be as near quantum mechanics. When that classical mechanics is going to be failure in case of ultramicroscopic particle, then that this quantum mechanics get into this particular thing, and that can consider these both the concepts, hence that this particular mechanics we can call it as here quantum mechanics. According to that quantum mechanics here, this ultramicroscopic particle having here particle and as well as that wave character, particle and wave character, along with that here Heisenberg uncertainty principle. As we know that these two particular concepts is only holds good for an here microscopic particle, only microscopic particle. Okay, so that's why such kind of mechanics we can call it as here quantum mechanics. And as we know that here, so quantum mechanical model in the sense here a atom of a model. Okay, it's an atom of a model that can be completely based on that here quantum mechanics that takes into consideration of here particle and wave duality and Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Such kind of model we can call it as here quantum mechanical model. Okay, so that quantum means this particularly atomic model which is completely based on that quantum mechanics, means that kind of atomic model we can call it as here quantum mechanical model, guys. So this is that some basic information regarding quantum mechanics and as well as that quantum mechanical model. And we have to know right now, that is what will be that silent features of a quantum mechanical model. We'll discuss one by one, which is one of the most important concepts, guys. I must tell you that. Okay, so take note. This is the thing, guys. When classical mechanics fails to explain that particle behavior of that electrons or atoms or molecules when they are in motion, then only that quantum mechanics has to be enter, and that can give that a proper explanation regarding this particular thing, and ultimately that can suggested that these ultramicroscopic particle having an here wave and as well as that particle behavior. Okay, so this is why, that's why we have to study here quantum mechanics, which is one of the most important concepts in order to study how that electrons behaves as an here both particle and as well as that wave character. Okay, this is all about here some brief introduction about quantum mechanics and quantum mechanical model. So let's discuss right now there is a silent features of quantum mechanical model. So what will be that stuff we are going to get in this concept? We'll discuss one by one. Yes, guys, take down, that is quantum mechanical model. Quantum mechanical model. So what will be their silent features? We'll discuss one by one. So let's take down, guys. Salient features of quantum mechanical model. So what will be that their particular features? We'll discuss one by one here. The very first, so as we know that if you consider one particular atom, there must be nucleus at the center. That's the same thing he could also explain here. This means that's quantum mechanics. Okay, so atom which consists of here heavy positively charged body at that central nucleus. Okay, that we can call to be as an here, means this is a major first silent features of here quantum mechanical model. How to take down, guys? Very simple, guys. That is atom is the, if it is atom has to be there, means at the center what will be there? Nucleus. So what will be the charge for that nucleus? Positive, right? That only he could explain here, means that quantum mechanical model. So atom having positively charged central nucleus, means nucleus that has to be present at that center, which means, okay. Second one, guys, see, suppose if you consider atom, means that atom which consists of here positively charged nucleus that has to be present at center, as we know that. The second features of this particular quantum mechanical model would be like that electrons that has to be revolve around the nucleus as the form of three-dimensional standing waves. three-dimensional standing waves. Let me know that what is the meaning of that standing waves here. But so let's complete this particular statement. And that standing waves that has to be confined to a particular region. It would not alter their particular positions, guys. So that standing waves that has to be confined in a particular region, it will be that second, silent features of quantum mechanical model. So let's write, then after I just give an explanation regarding this particular statement. So the second features will be like that: the electrons revolve around the nucleus as in the form of three-dimensional standing waves. Three-dimensional standing waves, very much important. So this particular word have to know here what will be that standing waves, and these particular standing waves and these standing waves confined to a particular region. Okay, what will be the meaning of this particular statement? So I have to know that. So guys, electron that has to be revolve around that nucleus, as we know that electron as a particle, as we know that has to be revolving around that nucleus, but we still don't know how to that electron that has to be revolving around that nucleus as the form of waves. So that would be like that. Suppose if you consider this particular point and electron that has to be starting to revolving around that nucleus from this particular point, but as in the form of waves, then would be like that their wave behavior. Yes. See, electron that has to be revolving around that nucleus as in the form of three-dimensional standing waves. So this is nothing but here standing waves. Okay, this is not standing waves or stationary waves, whatever you can call that, but will be in the specific, that should be in specific manner, isn't it? Yes, guys. So this is nothing but here standing waves. Electron that has to be revolve around that nucleus as in the form of three-dimensional standing waves would be like that. Electron that has to be revolving here in the form of wave itself. That's why we can call it as in here the three-dimensional standing waves. And these standing waves are confined to a particular region. See, if electron that has to be starting that particular position means revolving around that nucleus and started to revolve this particular point, means that position of that wave could not be altered here. Okay, if it complete one particular rotations, means again that has to be rotate from this path only. It could not get altered their particular region. So this means that, so that's why the standing waves are confined to a particular region. So this is that a second features of this particular quantum mechanics. So the thing is, electrons revolve around that nucleus as in the form of three-dimensional standing waves, and this particular standing waves confined to a particular region, which means that it would not be alter their particular position. After one rotation, their second rotation would be in that same path. Okay, this is the thing, guys. The third features would be like that: the energy and trajectory. So motion of an electron wave, the trajectory motion of an electron wave can be given by here one particular equation, that is Schrodinger wave equation, most important. So we'll discuss that particular thing. First have to write down here a statement, means their features here. The third features will be like that: the energy and trajectory motions of electron wave. Since here electron that has to be revolved in the form of waves, right? That's why that energy and trajectory motion of an electron. So this particular trajectory motion of an electron and that energies of that particular electron's wave can be given by, or can be governed by one particular equation, that is Schrodinger wave equation, Schrodinger's wave equation, and the Schrodinger wave equation could be like that, that is h cap xi which equals to E into xi, guys. So this is nothing but here Schrodinger wave equation here. So don't worry about it, Schrodinger wave equation, how that particular equation we are going to derive here. So you don't worry about it, how to get that particular expression, that's it. Okay, so energy and trajectory motion of an electron wave can be governed by here one particular equation, that is Schrodinger wave equation would be like that, guys, h cap xi which equals to E into xi. This is known as here a Schrodinger wave equation. What are the importance of Schrodinger wave equation means, by studying this particular equation we are going to get here energy and trajectory motion of an electron wave which are revolving around that nucleus in a particular atom. Okay, so in all the atom, not to be particular, you know, suppose if you consider electron as in the form of waves that has to be revolved around that nucleus, that electron's energy and that particular trajectory motion of that electron as in the form of waves. So both the factor can be given by one particular equation will be here, that is Schrodinger wave equation, and that can stands for here means expression would be like that, h cap into xi which equals to E into xi. Then what are these particular terms is wants to tell us that, so h cap is nothing but, which is an Hamiltonian operator, nothing but here wave function, and xi is nothing but here, that is amplitude of an electron wave, amplitude of the electron wave, and E is nothing but, so somehow xi can be taken as a wave function, need not to worry about it. That quantum mechanical model completely, which is a theoretical basis, guys, so I have to get that concept as it is. Okay, as such it is. Okay, we have to take that concept directly like that only. So E is nothing but here, nothing but total energy of an electron, total energy of an electron. Okay, so these are the terms indicating here in that Schrodinger wave equation. H cap is nothing but here Hamiltonian operator, is nothing but wave function, and xi which is nothing but here amplitude of the electron wave. Somehow that xi can also be behaves as a wave function, and E is nothing but here total energy of an electron, So these are the major important silent features here. And next to get further if you want to see that some more silent features of quantum mechanical model means would be like that. I am just going to rub about these two particular statement here. The third statement would be like that, guys. How to take down, that is S. So now he wanted to explain that, means is giving that characteristics about here xi and as well as that xi square. So what will be that xi and xi square would be, we'll see here. So xi is nothing but here, that is one of the mathematical operator, that is okay, that is nothing but mathematical operator. It doesn't have any kind of physical meaning, guys. Okay, is being a mathematical operator, it doesn't have any kind of physical meaning, and somehow which could act as in here a wave function. Okay, take down xi is an here, xi is a mathematical operator, and so it doesn't have any kind of physical meaning. Okay, means which is unobservable, we could not see that how will be that xi. Okay, so which is an unobservable, and the thing is that it doesn't have any kind of physical meaning. It does not have any physical meaning. It does not have any physical meaning in the sense we could not observe that particular xi, which is completely unobservable. Okay, so it is operator and unobservable. unobservable. Okay, and then that is about xi. Then what might be that xi square here? Xi square is nothing but here the probability of electron, most important, that is xi square here, the probability of electron in at a particular point in an atom. Most important thing is these two are, okay, xi is being a mathematical operator and it does not have any kind of physical meaning, and hence it can be unobservable. We could not see that xi here. Okay, then xi square is the limit here, the probability of an electron, so at a particular point in an atom. If you consider any particular atom, there must be some point has to be there must be some probability of electron has to be there over, so that can be represented by that here symbol xi square. Okay, so let me go with that one more silent features of that quantum mechanical model. Okay, so guys, if you want to symbolize that here xi and xi square means, what might be that symbol they should have here, what might be the sign they should have here. So we will discuss that particular thing right now. So guys, xi, it might have positive or a negative charge. Xi might have positive or negative charge, but xi square is always positive. Xi square is always positive. So this is also one of the most important silent features here. Okay guys, let me take that one more silent features further. Okay, see, xi is means having a positive or a negative charge, but xi square is always be positive. Okay, so we have to know this particular thing. And xi is being, see, as I told you that xi that can also behave as here wave function. Hence that xi is being wave function, and each wave function having here three variables, guys. Each wave function having here three variables. Hence that, and each wave function having three variables, but the thing is that these three variables can be given by here quantum numbers, means considered as in here quantum numbers. That quantum numbers can be explained by here xi and as well as that xi square. Have to know that here xi is being a wave function and each wave function having here three variables, that is nothing but here, quantum numbers. So those variables can be called to be as their quantum numbers, that is n, l and m. So these are quantum numbers. Next concept will be that quantum numbers. We'll discuss there over in deep understanding. Okay, so n is nothing but here principal quantum number, l is nothing but here azimuthal quantum number, m is nothing but here magnetic quantum number. So these three variables can be explained by here, so wave function. Okay, then what might be that n and l and m is going to be indicating here. So always n indicates here energy, okay, and as well as that size. L indicate here shape of the orbital, that is angular momentum. Okay, m can indicating here angular momentum, guys. Okay, so these are the major importance of this particular quantum number here. So this is all about a silent features of quantum mechanical model. So xi might have a positive or negative charge, but xi square always have a positive, and that xi is being a wave function, and each wave function having here three variables in terms of quantum numbers will be n, l and m. So n can stands for here energy, and l can stands for here shape of the orbital, and m can stands for here that is orbital angular momentum. Okay, so these are the major. So one more quantum number will be there, that is spin quantum number. But so these particular xi, it could not explain that spin of that particular electrons, what will that spin will be there. So it could not explain that particular thing. So let's by studying that quantum numbers, so that quantum number is also going to be there. We'll discuss there over. Okay, but need not to worry about it. Okay guys, so this is all about silent features of quantum mechanical model. So we'll move on to that one of the most important concept, that is concepts of orbital. Concepts of orbital. Let's discuss that particular concept right now. Concepts of orbital, very much important concepts guys, that is concepts of orbital. See, as we know that here orbit is nothing but is a circular path where there is a electron is going to be revolve around that nucleus. Orbit is nothing but here circular path which is present around that nucleus. So in this particular path only electron has to be revolve. That can be has been said by here Bohr's, isn't it? But that orbit concept can be ruled out by studying here Heisenberg uncertainty principle, as we know that. But instead of that orbit, there must be some probability of electron has to be introduced by quantum mechanics, isn't it? So that only we are going to studying right now. That probability is nothing but here in terms of orbital we can going to expressing here. Okay, so let's discuss then what will be that orbital will be. Okay, so yes guys, orbital is nothing but, if you consider a nucleus which is present in an atom, okay, and around that, okay, instead of that an orbit, means instead of that particular circular path, there must be some probability of electron cloud has to be there. Okay, around that nucleus, some possibility or probability of finding the electron is going to be maximum. That particular region or that particular point we can call to be as in here orbital. Then how can we define that orbital here? Orbital is nothing but here a region or a point or a space where there is a probability of finding the electron would be maximum. Then only that kind of region or a point we can call to be as in here orbital guys. So orbital is nothing but, take down, okay, that is the region or a point, so where this particular region or a point is going to be situated, means around that nucleus, right? Around the nucleus where there is a probability of finding the electron is maximum, where there is a probability of finding the electron is maximum. So this particular region we can call to be as in here orbital. Okay, orbital is nothing but here the region or one particular point or one particular so space, that means which are present or that's going to be situated around that nucleus. Okay, so in this particular region only probability of finding the electron is going to be maximum. So that we can call to be as in here orbital. So orbital is nothing but the region or a point around the nucleus where there is a probability of finding the electron is going to be maximum. This only can explain here xi square. Okay, so with the help of that quantum mechanics, that xi square stands for here the probability of finding the electron that has to be maximum. So nothing but in terms of orbital we are going to studying here. Okay, and so guys, before getting into the concept of orbital, so we have to know one more thing here, that is significance of xi and xi square. What will be the significance of xi and xi square? Okay, so let me go with that xi. Okay, xi is nothing but here wave factor, or it is being wave function. Xi is an here wave function or a wave factor. Okay, so it corresponds to that, it corresponds to energy of an electron, energy of an electron. And one more important thing of an xi here, you know, you means that that particular xi, it should have that all the information of an electron. Okay, so where there has to be electrons positions wise and energy wise, everything has to be, you know, can be known by here xi, isn't it? So xi is being a wave function, it corresponds to energy of an electron, and it has and it has that all the information about electron. Okay, their positions wise and their velocity wise, their energy wise, okay, everything can be known by here xi, guys. Okay, that's why that particular xi, it should have that all the information about your electron. Then xi square, that is being a wave fraction or wave function. Okay, it corresponds to that energy of an electron and it has all the information, okay, all the information about electron. But xi square is nothing but here probability function, so xi square is nothing but here which is an probability function, and indicates that xi square indicates here, okay, the probability of finding the electron has to be maximum from that nucleus, okay. So the thing is that the xi square is being a probability function, and which indicates in here, which indicates the probability of finding the electron at a distance or from the nucleus. Okay, this is an important significance of xi and xi square. Xi square indicating here, so around that nucleus some point or a space has to be there. So in that particular path, in that particular space, that, you know, so probability of finding the electron is going to be maximum. Okay, maximum. The probability of finding the electron is maximum at a distance or from that nucleus. Okay, so this is nothing but here significance of xi and xi square. See, indirectly that orbital nothing but here xi square, guys. Okay, so xi means this particular orbital wants to says that, so orbital is nothing but it's a region or a point around that nucleus where there is a probability of finding the electron is maximum. That we can call to be as an here orbital. So orbital would be like that. If you can take any particular atom, guys, so orbital must a radial node. Okay, so in order to calculate a radial node, we have formula that is n minus l minus 1, and again that radial node which depends on both the value n and l value. N is nothing but here energy level, L is nothing but here means in terms of if you want to express in terms of quantum numbers, means n is nothing but principal quantum number, L is nothing but here angular quantum number. Okay, then what about here angular node? Okay, so yes, guys, so here we have to know that here about here node here. So let me tell you one particular thing here. Angular node can be depend on that here, can be depend on L value itself. Okay, L value, L is nothing but here azimuthal quantum number. And guys, as we know that here, so in order to calculate angular node, the formula will be L itself, isn't it? See guys, orbital is nothing but the probability of finding the electron is going to be maximum. That we can call to be as an here orbital. Okay, but let me give a clarification to the node here. Node is going to be completely different from that of here orbital. And if you can take any particular atom, there will be the probability of finding the electron which is about 95%. If you can take any particular atom, that you know the probability of finding the electron in a particular atom will be 95%. Okay, sir. Yes guys, see the thing is that orbital that is completely different from that of node. Then what is mean by node? So sorry for it, because I didn't explain that means about here node. So we will discuss that particular thing here. Very simple guys, node is nothing but, okay, orbital is nothing but the probability of finding the electron is going to be maximum, that region or a space, that we can call it as near orbital. But node is nothing but the region or a space or a point where there is a probability of finding the electron is going to be 0, that we can call it as near node. So in this particular node there will be two types, one will be radial node and angular node. So node is nothing but the probability means the region or a space where there is a probability of finding the electron is 0. Okay, that we can call it as an here node. Suppose the probability of finding the electron is going to be maximum means, then we can call it as here orbital. So there will be a lot of difference between here orbital and as well as that node guys. So node can be classified into two types. One will be radial node and angular node. So radial node can be depend on that here the distance from the nucleus, and that for calculation of that radial node we have one particular formula, that is n minus l minus 1, and radial node which depends on that here n and l value. Angular nodes can be is nothing but here that can be depends on that here l value, and in order to calculate angular node the formula will be l itself, isn't it? So generally node is nothing but the region or a space around that nucleus where there is a probability of finding the electron 0. If you consider one particular atom, suppose yes guys, see, look at here carefully. See this particular region, that is orbital. Why? Because the probability of finding the electron around the nucleus is going to be maximum here. This particular region we can call it as near orbital, and that this empty space we can call it as near node. That empty space we can call it as near node. So node is nothing but here the region or a space around the nucleus where there is a probability of finding the electron is going to be 0. Okay, that we can call it as a near node. So in that node there will be two types, one will be radial and angular node. Formula for in order to calculate radial node will be here n minus l minus 1, and radial node l value itself. Okay, so this is all about here orbital and nodes guys. Okay, there will be two different means, a lot of difference between here orbital and orbit and node. Orbit is a circular path where there is electron revolve around that nucleus. Orbital, the probability of finding the electron is going to be maximum around that nucleus, that is orbital. And node, the probability of finding the electron is going to be 0. Okay, so we have to know these three major concepts. So in order to better understanding of that particular upcoming concepts is like quantum numbers. Okay, and if you consider any particular atom, there must be the probability of finding the electron is going to be 95%. We have to know these things. Okay, yes guys, this is all about here concepts of orbital. So let's discuss in the next session with one of the most important concepts, that is shape of the orbital. So let's discuss there over. Thank you, Nanda.